Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on Pharmagreen's channel. Today, we have special guest, Dr. Fawzia Afreen. Now, Doc, you are the Chief Scientific Officer for WFS Pharmagreen, which is a Canadian subsidiary of Pharmagreen Biotech Inc. So first and foremost, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Very glad to have you on. Can we kind of start off kind of at the beginning and tell us about some of your past experience, your education, and then how you got involved with Pharmagreen?
Okay, thank you very much for the nice introduction, and I'm really honored to be here. So I am Fawzia Afreen. I am the Chief Scientific and Operations Officer of Botanical Research in Motion, or BRIM Canada. So a little bit about my education. I was awarded a Commonwealth Fellowship for my PhD program, and I did my PhD from Department of Applied Biology, University of Hull, England. Then I worked as a postdoctoral fellow at Chiba University, Japan, and then as a research associate at a University of Guelph, Ontario. And then again, I was awarded JSPS Fellowship, and I did work as a research associate at Chiba University, Japan. Besides research, I also taught master degree courses on protected horticulture and plant production in controlled environment. I hold 3 international patents. I have published over 40 manuscripts in international journals, review articles, book chapters, and attended many seminars as an invited speaker. So as you can see that I taught protected horticulture. So basically my expertise are plant horticulture, which involves greenhouse and growth chamber plant production by controlling the environmental factors, nutritional factors, and growing support. Then plant tissue culture, which involves production of protocol and supports for in vitro propagation. And plant production in controlled environment, which involves secondary metabolite production of the plant. So with Pharmagreen, I have joined in 2014. So Pharmagreen, you know, it's all about, it deals with cannabis and industrial hemp. So when Pharmagreen was applying for a cannabis license, they needed a plant scientist to join their team. So my credentials attracted their attention. So wonderful. That's how I joined Pharmagreen.
Perfect. So what did you like about Pharmagreen? What drew you in?
Actually, my dedication and passion towards the value-added plant flora inspired me to work with cannabis. You know, although the use of cannabis for healing purposes and combating a variety of human diseases predates human history, but what I see, the use of cannabis in modern medicinal preparations have accompanied with issues like quality and consistency of the chemical constituents. So my main goal is to educate and help growers or producers to produce plantlets that are geared for optimal growth, guaranteed to be disease-free, and with each plantlet consisting of the same genetic makeup, no matter how many hundreds of thousands are produced or regardless of where and by whom they are produced.
Wow. Interesting. You're really bringing a lot of prestige with your role to the company here. So tell me what that looks like now. So now that you're the Chief Scientific Officer, what do you have to put your hands in on the day-to-day?
For the I mainly oversee all the research activities. Like currently we are involved in production of healthy and starting plant material. Then the role of substrate on plantlet growth, and also protocol development of different cannabis strains and some endangered woody plants. Those woody plants which are produces the most valuable timber in the world. For example, like Brazilian rosewood, then lignum vitae and ebony. But unfortunately, all of these plants have been listed as vulnerable on the International Conservation for Union of Nature Red List. So I want to dedicate my time to save those rare, valuable plants that are at the brink of extinction. Also, since last year, I am involved in our plant breeding project. And in addition to research work, I also design plant tissue culture unit.
Okay, wow. I mean, that's one of the most noble goals that I've heard of yet, talking to people that trying to save a lot of these very vulnerable, very useful and beautiful plants.
Yes.
Perfect. So another thing I wanted to talk to you today about was the Afreen side of things. Now, a lot of this language is really complicated for people. Were you able to break it down in a way that your average person could understand a little better?
Yeah, I will try my best. You know, before I talk about Afreen, I need to just explain a little bit, very briefly, what tissue culture is and why it is necessary to use tissue culture plantlets for those audience who are not familiar with tissue culture.
Okay.
What happens in general, either seed or clone is used to propagate plants. Now, for a smaller operation, this may not be an issue, but with the legalization of cannabis in many states and provinces, once cloning is taken into an industrial scale, it quickly becomes impractical. You know, the major shortcomings are the number of clones cannot exceed the mother's available branches. Then it is difficult to maintain the chemical constituents, then difficult to produce disease-free plants. The resemblance between generations is not guaranteed, and especially when they are seed-grown plants, almost 30 to 45% of plants turn out to be undesirable male. So the cannabis industry has evolved to a point where a need has risen to efficiently mass-produce plantlets that are consistent and disease-free. So what I want is, I think that consistent quality production of cannabis stems from disease-free, genetically identical, and healthy starting plant material that could be only achieved through tissue culture. With time, many farmers and cannabis producers have realized the importance of using tissue culture starting plant material in order to overcome their loss of labor, money, and time. And of course, to get a better quality plant. So what is tissue culture? It is actually an advanced vegetative way to propagate plants. What happens in this method, a small portion of plant is first sterilized using a chemical and then put on a grow medium. That grow medium could be either agar or any gelling agent, and it contains nutrients and hormones. There it stimulates cell division and then produces miniature shoots, multiple shoots, and then eventually roots, and then into plantlet. Now, the entire process is carried under artificial light and strictly controlled environment, which ensures, because the environment is sterile, it ensures the production of plantlet that are guaranteed to be disease-free and true to type. When I say true to type, it means with each plantlet consisting of the same genetic makeup, no matter how many hundreds of thousands are produced. So usually, conventional tissue culture method involves 4 stages. Stage 1 is when the small portion of the plant is grows in the growth medium. Stage 2 is multiple shoot formation. Stage 3, root formation. And stage 4 is when that small plantlet is taken out from the growth medium and sown on pots, and it acclimatized in the outside environment, which could be any greenhouse or nursery. So Afreen is, in our method, we have modified that conventional method and introduced a new method, which we call Chiba-free. Now, before I go, the word Chiba-free is a combination of two words. One is Afreen and another is Chiba. So Afreen is my last name and Chiba is the name of the university at Japan from where I learned this technology actually. So in our method, we have eliminated the stage 3 of the conventional tissue culture system. So the advantage is it reduces the propagation period by approximately 20 to 30%, and of course the cost drastically. What happens in our method, the root formation and the acclimatization both are carried out in one stage. In other words, it shortens the cultivation to harvest time. So this is the big advantage of Chiba-free. Now, our method is not only for cannabis, it could be suitable for any other value-added transplant production that helps to solve the global and local problems of food, feed, biomass production, or environmental conservation.
Interesting. I mean, that you're right. That is a lot to take in, but it's interesting that what you guys are doing now is a more advanced form, and especially so that it doesn't just apply to cannabis. You guys can apply this to multiple different things.
Any plant species. And that's why I have also started doing with the endangered woody plants.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So from there, tell me a bit about the production facility and what will be happening there.
Right now, we are doing the development of starting healthy plant materials and then roll of substrate on plant production, in vitro production. Then we are doing different protocol developments mainly, and that protocol development is definitely our IP. And then I'm also designing tissue culture unit. So if this is helpful for any other cannabis growers, we can educate them, help them to do it. We are also dealing with the cultivation method when we take it out from the jar and then grow it in multi-cell tray. So there we have to tune, we have to adjust the nutrients, we have to adjust the growing support. We are working on that as well. So it is not only for us, but we can help and educate other people whenever they need, or the clients can bring their product. If they want to multiply it, if they want to preserve it, we can help them to do that.
Interesting. Yeah, it's really cool how what you're doing is applicable in so many different ways to so many different industries. You can help out the cannabis industry. You can help out a lot of different industries and species of plants. So what
Correct.
excites you the most going forward? What are you really looking forward to?
Well, I am looking forward to mainly, to be honest, with cannabis, that's one important thing. And also with the woody plants, if really I can multiply them, propagate them, and establish, it would really help. I mean, I want to remove their name from the as vulnerable. So it is available because they produce the most important valuable timber plants in the world. This is one thing. And also, usually cannabis is used grown by using either seed or clone. Now, first thing, it is not germ-free. And then also the adulteration and contamination with other misidentified plant species, bacterial, insects, and other environmental pollutants, etc., all have compromised the safety and efficacy, which might lead to serious health problems. Yeah. So my point is, I am excited if we can address those issues, and eventually we can increase the awareness that everyone should start using tissue culture plantlets, not only to get a high quality disease-free plant, but also to maximize their the return of their investment.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're really evangelizing and spreading the idea of this new technology. This is how everybody should be doing it. It has much better quality control. It's more streamlined, and as you said, it's beneficial for everybody. And also, then your personal mission with getting rid of the plants off the vulnerable species list. That's a
Yes.
really noble one, and I wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you so much.
Dr. Fawzia Afreen, thank you so much again for coming on. And do you have any last words for people before we go?
Uh, any last words is that I know at the use of seed or clone is kind of a very cheap, and it sounds that we are the getting maximum for minimum investment, but in the long run, it is actually not. And when seed or clone grown plants, you cannot maintain the chemical constituents, you cannot make it germ free. So, which is really very kind of risky for the end users. So my request everyone is, and I know all the many farmers, producers, they are realizing it. So I want a kind of I know it is, they are realizing it, but still it is very slow. I want them to speed up and then start using tissue culture plant, even if they can, as soon as possible. So it will not only give us a germ-free plant, it is every step you supply it to any pharmacy or to any other cannabis license growers, anywhere you do, they know what exactly they are getting. And also the plants are certified. That is also very important. You know that you are getting certified plants, what chemical constituents it is, you know it is germ-free. So it is very easy to use it for any medical purposes, recreational purposes, and for the end users. So please, even if you are not aware with tissue culture, please try to understand and make the best use of it.
Wonderful. I think you've done a pretty good job of convincing people so far, but if anybody else has any questions for us or anything, by all means, submit them and we'll happily dive into them. I know it's a lot to take in, and we'll have a link to the website below. So if you guys want to learn more, please go do so. And also stay tuned because we'll get you another interview as soon as we have more time. But for now, Dr. Fawzia Afreen, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.